Hi guys, I'm back. So we have a guest speaker for today. His name is Babu Bhai. He's the founder of Agami. Agami is a non-profit organization which helps the children, low-income children, for their higher education. So today I would like to talk to him and find out why he created Agami and what this is all about. Ami Bengali Manush has sent me a request to join my live. Hello. I'm actually waiting for our speaker today. So I'm not going to be able to add you to our video today. But thank you so much for joining me. Maybe in the future we can talk. Agyatanama, where are you from? Thanks for coming to the show. We are just waiting for our speaker. Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. কেমন আছেন? আমি তো ভেবেছি আপনি সাউথ ইন্ডিয়া থেকে। সিলেট। ওকে, নাইস টু মিট ইউ। আমি এখানে আমার পেজে বাংলা শেখায়। যারা ধরেন বিদেশে থাকে, অনেকে বাবা মা বাংলাদেশি, কিন্তু ওরা ঠিক মতো বাংলা বলতে পারে না, তাদেরকে আমি বাংলা শেখাই আমার চ্যানেলে। Okay, our speaker is here. Yay, Babu Bhai is here, finally. Thank you. So nice to see you. কেমন আছেন?
সব ঠিক আছে। আর আপনি কেমন আছেন?
এই তো আমি ভালো আছি। Thank you so much for
তুমি আমার
coming.
শিক্ষক কেমন বলো? শিক্ষিকা। শিক্ষিকা।
Yes. So we have with us Mr. Babu Bhai. He's the founder of Agami. And today we just want to know from him a few things about Agami and then why he started this. So we're so happy to have you here. I'm also in the bottom of my video, I'll be writing down different ways of how you can contribute to Agami, whether it's through volunteering or whether it's through donation, whatever. I'll just write it down at the bottom of this video. So how was your morning, Aya?
It was very good. I actually went and played a quick game of soccer. It wasn't that bad. And I had my power drink here. Yeah, I've been playing soccer for many, many years. Even at my advanced age, I still try to get out there.
But it's only 11 o'clock there in your place.
We started at 8 in the morning. This is a hardcore group. You get up first on the field and you don't need to fight with anybody for access to the fields.
Absolutely, I guess so. Well, today's a weekend. Most people are still sleeping in while he's already had a very productive day.
Yes, absolutely. Already got my first part of the day done.
Nice, good. So I guess we'll just jump right to the topic.
Sure.
What made you want to create Agami? Was there any story or anything that happened?
Yeah, it's an interesting story, Sasan, because so I'll give, and I don't know your viewers, so I'll give them a little bit of context, and you probably are very familiar.
So most of my viewers are foreigners. We have a few from Kolkata, a few from Bangladesh, but most of them are either Bengalis who are born abroad or they are foreigners who are interested in Bangladesh.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So then it seems like most of you will have a sense that in Bangladesh, there seems to be an unending cycle of cyclones every year. And some are quite bad. And there was one particular one that happened, and I forget the name of it, in 1989. So I was actually in school here, going to school in Berkeley locally, and a big one hit in 89. And I think, I was a grad student by myself, and I just felt like I was at a point in my life where I wanted to do something, and I felt I had the ability and time to do so. So I started raising funds, and if you can even imagine, this is 89, internet barely existed. Email was kind of this cool, edgy toy. So I actually posted paper flyers all over my dorm, my building, my engineering building, just trying to get some interest going and just spread awareness.
And which country was that? When you say my building, which country was that?
Oh, sorry. This was here in Berkeley, the Echeverry building.
Okay, so it was in the United States, basically.
Oh yeah, it was here in California and going to school in Berkeley. So it was very local, and posted a bunch of flyers, and net over about a month or something, I raised about $1,500. So not a whole lot, but still nice.
No.
Here's where the dilemma came in. Okay, now I've got this money. What do I do with this thing? And I went to a local Bangladesh organization here, and they were uncertain where to send the money. They referred me to some groups, some official groups in Washington. And as you know, I'm not going to name names, but I was uncertain about the accountability of the money, but there was no other way of getting money back home. So fine, I sent it back to one of these organizations in Washington. And at that point, it's cross your fingers and pray that the money actually goes to where it's supposed to go. And this is the genesis of why I said, Bas, I'm done. I need to create my own organization that has clear end-to-end transparency of where the money comes from and where the money goes. So that's why I said, okay, fine, I'm going to start my own organization. Now, the next thing, Safsan and guys, is, well, why am I focused on education? Because at this point, it was just disaster relief, which was great, but it's, as you know, a very acute one-time, maybe every couple of years type of solution. I wanted to get into education. Here's why. My father was a professor, and so he was the oldest in his family. And really, his father was, my dada, was not very educated. My dada was very bright, but because he missed a lot of schooling, he just didn't get far in life. But dada had the vision to say, look, to my Abu, you will go all the way. Dada and Dadi focused their money in my father and pushed him. And then Abu got a PhD. And because of his education, he was able to come across to Canada and really, forge a new life for him. So the way I look at it, my family does, is that literally in 2 generations, we went from farming to PhD and really transformed our lives. And, so that's my Abu's side. And my Ammu was, she was Bachelor of Arts student and a homemaker. But Ammu always said, always look down. So in our language, right? Which means, like, basically, don't forget, wherever you are in the ladder of life, there's always someone below you. You may think you have it really bad. There's always someone fighting, lower the ladder to get up. And so between my Ammu and Abu and recognizing the power of education, I said, I need to do something for education to save my family. I believe in the power of it. I think there are many ways of helping underprivileged people back home. You can bring food, you can bring money, you can bring clothing, all that. But as you know, there's a lot of graft back home. Money tends to disappear. Clothing gets worn out. But once I educate you, it is yours. You will never, ever lose your education. And they've shown so many studies that an educated woman really helps drive the whole family towards education. So it's really a repeatable, sustainable value added.
An educated woman is the backbone of a country, an entire country.
Exactly.
So that's why they say mothers should be educated. Yeah. And the other thing which you said, which is very, very important, was that never forget the people below you, no matter how much higher you come. So life is not only about building our own wealth, our own car, the latest iPhone, our house. It's not only about that. Unfortunately, too many people just focus on their own building instead of the community in general. Yeah. So let's focus on the community as well.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to do, grow the community back home.
That's amazing. So what are the different projects of Agami?
Okay. So there are a number of different projects, and I took some notes. So if you don't mind, I'll sort of look at some of my notes. I'll make it brief, but
no, that's
essentially, fine. Okay. So there are a number of different projects and sort of big buckets, and then as you wish, Hassan, we can get into all the little details. But fundamentally, the key projects, I'm looking at my notes, are this is sort of the very core. It's called a school program. So right now we're running about 15 unique schools in Bangladesh, not just in Dhaka, but literally all around the country. So rural, urban slums, etc. So about 15 right now. There's an ed tech program, so education technology. I'll get in a little one-liners in each one in a bit. There's an LIF, so Life is Fun program, a teachers training program, HFE, so Health for Education, and the library project. Now, a little bit on each one. So school program, obviously, this is the reason why we started Agami, to go out to those schools, address those thousands of children who don't have the fundamental basics. You're talking about tiffin, school uniform, chalk, boards, tablets, everything. So we address all of that. So those are the school programs. And obviously, many schools are in Dhaka because it's easy for us to go there and monitor. But we have schools in Rangamati, we've got schools up in Mirpur, schools literally in the corners of
Jadpur also, right? Jadpur, Rangamati.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, do you have any in Noakhali?
What's that?
Do you have any in Noakhali?
No, I don't. Keno.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, really? Because I think Ammu has connections to Noakhali. Oh, good. Okay. We got a family there. Great. So nothing there. I have schools in Kumila. We have schools in Khulna. So literally, schools come and go. Some are basically every year we review them and see if they meet the criteria to stay as an Agami school. So there is basically an active review of schools. That's the school program. The EdTech program, it actually used to be called, maybe your viewers may recognize, the Khan Academy Bangla program. So Khan Academy, as you know, started literally about 30 miles from me here in Palo Alto by Salman Khan, who's half Bangladeshi. And so it's kind of cool because I remember going to a conference in 2009-ish, and I really went just to see him because I said, look, I'm doing education. I know, because at that time, no one knew Sal. And even Bill Gates didn't know, Sal. So I said, I got to find Sal. And I hunted him down after this session. I said, Sal, Shuno, you're half Bangladeshi. I think his mother was from Jashore. Father was from West Bengal. And you're doing remote education.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah. And I'm doing Bangladeshi education all offline. We've got to connect because I'm an engineer. So I want to bring technology to how we do things so we can do things better and spread and increase the impact of Agami. So, long story short, Khan Academy has been a huge success for us. And now we've expanded the scope to just ed tech. It's the whole spectrum, from offline all the way to hybrid, all the way to full online. We cover everything now. And we've got a full portfolio.
I read about Khan Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Because on the newspaper, the title was like Salman Khan opened, an online course and something. So I'm thinking this is the Bollywood actor Salman Khan, right?
Hold on. Which would have been kind of cool too, because I like him too.
And I read the article. I was like, oh, this is not the Bollywood actor. This is another Salman Khan.
Yeah. I think so that's cool. By Sal instead of Salman, because it'd be too confusing.
His parents probably loved the actor.
Oh yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, but that's another story we can talk about. So there's EdTech, and then LIF. So Life is Fun. Basically, it's another science program. But as you know, many children, especially young children, get kind of scared by science. It's just this weird, hard to explain concept. So what we do, we have very many these sort of hands-on displays and science fairs introducing the fundamentals of science to children. equal opposite reaction of forces, the volcanoes, all the kind of energy creation, all those kinds of things. We have science fairs, and we set up labs and equipment at the schools. Again, to make science accessible and normal for the kids, because we need to push, especially back home, push kids into STEM. That, whether we like it or not, is where the jobs are. And we have other activities driving arts, but right now this LIF is STEM. Okay. Another program which is big for us is TT, teacher training. So what we realized,
teacher training is very important.
Yeah, and we realize that education is great, but if the quality of education is not top notch, the children will just lose it and come back every year. They'll drop out or they'll fail and they'll come back. What we wanted to do is improve the quality of education through, obviously, the quality of the teachers, the quality of the tools, so like tablets, phones, the quality of the materials, KAB, all that kind of stuff. So the teacher training has been a significant, huge effort for us, and we pivoted to quality maybe about 7 years ago or something. Again, it's kind of neat because not many people are talking about quality of education back then, but I think we were just lucky to have
it's so important. If the teachers are not role models, who will be the role models for the kids?
I think it's very right, Sasan, because if the teachers aren't those role models, and if the teachers aren't motivated, because kids are smart, they can tell if you're the teacher, Shikika, if you don't want to teach. They can tell if you're bored, but they can also tell if you're excited, if you really want, and this material excites you and just generates buzz. They pick up on that. And so the teacher is the core to education. That's why we made a huge effort on teacher training and the quality of education effort. So part and parcel of that is this HFE, Health for Education. We recognize that, and it was a strange thing because in the beginning, I just wanted to do education, just very narrow blinders. But over the years, I recognized from the other team members in Agami saying, look, the kids can't learn if they're hungry. They can't learn if they're sick. So we started providing tiffin, started providing in the morning, I've seen it, egg, neem, some vitamins, and we have monthly or maybe quarterly checkups with doctors who come in to different schools. These doctors are volunteer doctors, so it's beautiful. They give their time, and some of the big corporations like Bextra, I think it is, have donated tons and tons of first aid supplies, Band-Aids, I think maybe some medicine and so on. I know nurses are obviously administering, not just average teachers. But basically, we're making a very focused effort at improving the health of the children, not just the education, but the mental health also. We also have mental health aspect focus of health, HFE, because it's the whole child, right? Physical health, mental health, emotional health. We really want to address the whole child there. And
so you do mental health as well?
Yes. It's. Okay. I know it's obviously very prominent in today's news, but I'm sure all of us have people in our families who have mental health issues. I do. I know that, and so it's been kind of at the top of our mind. But we didn't have the bandwidth years ago to do that. We didn't have the connections. Now we do, and we have people who are specific.
Also, that many years ago, mental health was a taboo, actually.
Yeah, actually.
Now it's accepted socially.
Very true. You and I couldn't have this conversation 5 years ago without feeling awkward, right? But now it's out there, which is great, and we're literally focused on, I think they call it joy-based learning. So literally the kids we focus again on them having a good time and learning. And last but not least, on this library project, it's a very good project. Essentially, we have books. We try to set up libraries, different schools, and try to circulate books through the libraries. And just there's nothing as valuable as getting a book in someone's hand and reading it, and just there's something different of a hard book versus a electronic book on your phone or whatever. So that library program has been a big success.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big book reading fan.
Yeah.
And honestly, there are so many things which our schools don't cover, which just reading a book can cover. And one of them being mental health, which I learned all about meditation or affirmations all through books. And then I actually did investment learning through books.
Wow, okay.
Because our schools, they teach us accounting, but they never teach us how to save money or how to invest money. And so I read that in books. So it's very important. And even in your room, I can see your shelf.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Actually, a lot of them are like here and there are my Abu's books. So, you know, Abu passed away about 5, 6 years ago. But since he was a writer and a mathematician, these are all math books, and those are all Bangla books. And I have about 200 more on the floor there. It's just incredible.
Wow, that's amazing. Your dad must have been proud of you.
Yeah, it's funny because I was lucky. Abu and Amma were very proud of me because in the beginning they thought, took their mother cut up, right? Are you crazy to be doing, a non-profit and you're not even born in Bangladesh? But over the years they saw it growing, and by the grace of God, it's taking off and it's hugely successful. We had a fundraiser actually last night, which I know you talked about in your stream. And from what I heard, we blew past the target of 100K. Just blew past it, which is fantastic.
Oh, mashallah.
It's amazing. So love it.
That's big deal.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so the best thing about your organization is that people can actually trust where the money is going.
Yeah.
That is very, very important. Now, do you have any child success stories?
Yes, we have multiple, but I will
Of course, there would be so many over the years.
Yeah,
So
I'll put one for you guys. So I'm just looking at my notes here because this is a kid named Shuman Ahmed, and he went to a school called Alok. So Alok is in this slums in Bangladesh. Dhaka, sorry. I've actually been there, but forgive me, I don't remember how to get there. So if you ask me how to get there, I'm lost. All I remember is a rickshaw ride and a brick wall, and I went in, and it was just so endearing to go to school. These young little kids running around, and they're so enamored to see, the Agami president coming in. So this is a great school. Again, like I said, slum school. And so what happened is run by this woman named Rashida Hassan, a wonderfully committed woman. And, before Agami, they were saying that the school couldn't afford books, couldn't afford tiffin, and actually couldn't even support a large number of children. And then after Agami came in, obviously all of that just completely changed. And not just they can have more kids, uniforms, tiffin, but there's also now they built this school, the brick school. I think before it was more of a corrugated galvanized iron CGI type of tin roof sort of setup. Very standard back home, but not durable. So this kid, Shuman, he's actually from a city named, where is it? I wrote down Sherpur. I know
Shariatpur. Yes, I know Shariatpur.
He wrote it on Sherpur, 100 miles north of Dhaka. So is it pretty far?
But it has too much floods.
Okay, yeah. So he moved to Dhaka in grade 9 because I guess he just wasn't getting good education there, and he's living with his grandparents. And he actually went. So this Alok school goes to class 5, but there's something called Alok, which is a strange name, but it's for basically after you leave Alok class 5, then it supports you to, I think, HSC. And so it's basically run by donations, targeted donations from here, running this Alok school. So Shuman went there, and he loved the math, he loved the science, he loved the fact that he got attention, and he did very well. And so here's the beautiful thing. He graduated last year, HSC. I don't know how he did, but now he's in school. He's doing a Bachelor's of Business Administration, and in his spare time, he's actually coming back and teaching at the Alok school. So we've now come full circle. He started there in class 9, graduated business admin. He's in process at university, and he's teaching there. And this is just great.
He has to give back to to where he came from.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Imagine Sasan, where we can create this virtuous cycle feedback loop, right? Where you get all these kids coming out of the Agami schools, they become successful and they come back and they give back to the schools. This is how we change education back home from the bottom up.
Yeah, and then he can be a role model to the rest of the kids.
Absolutely. And, actually, it's a good point you mentioned role model because, so where Comilla is. I'm almost from Comilla.
Yeah.
And our first project so many years ago was in Comilla. And one of the founders and I went and visited the Comilla school in, I think it was 2004, thereabouts. But I remember looking at this large group of girls gathered in the uniforms. This is, obviously Agami school, so Agami uniforms. I told them, look, I am proof that if you study, you can make it out of here. Not like you have to get out of here, but now you have a choice. If you wish to leave, you can. I said, my Ammu is from here. This is very personal. It was really hard for me to talk about this because it's very personal for me. My Ammu came from there. She struggled. She survived. She got a BA from back home. And she was able to make the choice of, do I want to stay or leave? She left. But I told the girls, this is proof of the feedback, of the success loop, of the role model. My Ammu was a role model for you girls. So it was really it was a powerful visit, very powerful visit, and just wonderful going back home. I urge you, all of your followers, go back to these schools. It's just so invigorating for the soul to see these children. The true excitement of learning is beautiful. I get a rush out of it every time I see the pictures, every time I go back home. I love it.
Exactly. See, like, when people physically give their time, efforts, and visit places which are making a difference in everybody's lives, it could be any place. It could be like a hospital. It could be an old age care. When you're physically going there, seeing it, and then also maybe giving a little bit of your time there, you change as a human being. You
Yeah.
change as a person.
It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
good for the soul, Salsan. It's so rewarding, and this is, I don't know, this is, I guess, our work. Our way of giving back.
Yeah, so like that's the best part about you. Like you were born and raised in Canada, you're living in United States, but you were able to start something in Bangladesh, so many miles away from you. And I think that's something that even I would like to learn from, so that maybe in the future, inshallah, I can do something like that as well.
Oh, we'd love to have
Um,
one.
now, do you have any advice for our viewers of how they can contribute to Agami, whether through time or through donations or through even just being a role model or however way?
Sure, Salsan. So thank you. There's so many ways to give, and like Salsan was saying, some of it is selfish because it's so rewarding. And maybe it depends on the person, but for me, this is my calling. But not everyone has a calling to get deeply involved and go to the villages and spend time there and live like a monk. You can do the simple stuff. This is how I started, just raising money. That still makes a huge impact. You can see ours was support, one girl child for a year in terms of her needs for schooling and clothing and tiffin or whatever it may be. Because money just goes so far back home. So the most simple thing in terms of helping Agami is just donating. And it's very simple, agami.org/donate. There are many ways to donate. So that's sort of level one. Level two is starting to get involved. You can reach out through Hassan, through me, and I can connect you with the Agami team. And their team is growing. We are literally worldwide. We've got chapters around the US. We've got obviously the sister organization in Bangladesh, the Agami Education Foundation, and we're looking to set up chapters around the world. And last but not least, you start to get involved there. If you really want to step up to the next level, you could take on leadership positions in Agami. Obviously, Agami likes to see you work, show the commitment, and learn all the people. Just like any normal job. It's good to know. You have to know the other people in the organization. You have to know the projects to be most effective. And if you wish to, then absolutely step into leadership. You can step in the exec committee. You can step into the board of directors if you really wish to, because all these things have different types of support for Agami. And of course, just go back home, visit the schools. That's how you really light a fire under you. Because for me, when I went back home with my Abu before Agami, and we saw some, orphanages, it really got me going internally. And that fire burned until I finally got Agami going. So there are many ways to help. And it's, like I said, my email is really simple. It's babu@agami.org. So feel free to reach out to me or through Sasan, and we can get you connected to the right people and get you into, whatever you want. You can work in the finance team if that excites you, or the project team, or metrics, or ed tech. There are so many different areas of Agami now. And the beautiful thing is that we're a registered nonprofit. So if you need to claim deductions, or in terms of your hours contributed or your donations given, all that is official also. So there are many ways to help. And the first thing is just taking that first step. Take that first step, then the journey's easy.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Babu Bhai.
Absolutely.
I guess we'll wrap up the session here today. It was amazing talking to you. I really hope we can meet each other someday. You're very, very close to me, both like, I don't know, physically and, mentally.
Yeah.
I think I love the way you think, and I wish, someday I can also do what you were doing.
Inshallah, you will. You've taken the first step. That's the hardest step. After that, the journey is with me. No problem.
So the thing is, I've volunteered a lot in Bangladesh in different slum schools and also in madrasas, but I want to have something of my own, or I want to join a large non-profit professionally. So let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excited.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Allah Hafiz. Bye-bye.
Bye.